Warning: this content is for educational purposes only and does not replace medical advice. Always consult your doctor before making any changes to your diet or medication. Never stop taking prescribed medication without medical guidance. But what I'm about to reveal may save you thousands of dollars and actually build muscle when expensive protein supplements fails. You are being robbed at the drugstore. Every month, you hand over $50 to $80 for protein supplements. Meanwhile, eggs sitting in your refrigerator have 94% bioavailability compared to just 18 to 25% for that expensive powder. The pharmaceutical industry does not want you to know this. Today, I'm exposing the protein supplement industry and showing you how 73-year-old Bob rebuilt 12 pounds of muscle in 6 months, using eggs that cost 50 cents each, instead of powder that cost him $68 per month. By minute 12, you'll see the major university study that proves eggs build 3 times more muscle than whey protein in seniors 70 to 85 years old. Subscribe now so you don't miss more truths like this. Let's go. First, let's talk about the money they're stealing from you. If you're over 60 and buying protein supplements, you're spending $50 to $80 every single month. That's $600 to $960 per year. Over 10 years, that's $6,000 to $9,600. Over 20 years, $14,400 to $19,200. For what? For powder that your body barely absorbs. The manufacturing cost of protein supplements is $1.20. The retail price is $50 to $80. That's a markup of 4,000 to 6,600%. They're taking $1 worth of ingredients and selling it to you for 50 times that amount. Meanwhile, a dozen eggs costs $2 to $4. That's 17 to 33 cents per egg. If you eat 3 eggs per day for muscle building, that's 50 cents to $1 per day, $15 to $30 per month, compared to $60 to $80 for protein supplements. You save $420 to $600 per year. That's $8,400 to $12,000 over 20 years. You're being robbed, and they're counting on you not doing this math. The financial robbery is just the beginning. Let's talk about the lie they sold you. Protein supplements promise to build muscle, increase strength, and prevent sarcopenia. The label shows muscular people, impressive claims, and scientific-sounding words. But here's what they don't tell you. Bioavailability in seniors over 60 drops dramatically for protein supplements. A study from Tufts University, published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition in 2018, measured actual absorption using isotope tracking. Seniors absorbed only 18 to 25% of whey protein supplements. That means if you take a 30-gram scoop, your body only gets 5 to 7 grams of usable protein. The other 23 to 25 grams pass through unabsorbed. You're flushing $15 down the toilet every week. Why does this happen? 3 reasons. First, stomach acid decreases with age. Protein supplements need acid to break down properly. Second, digestive enzymes decline. By age 70, you produce 40% fewer proteolytic enzymes. These enzymes are required to break down protein supplements into amino acids. Third, the form matters. Whey protein concentrate has lactose. 65% of seniors over 60 develop lactose intolerance. That powder sits in your gut, causing bloating, gas, diarrhea, and gets eliminated unabsorbed. Even whey isolate, which removes lactose, is still processed and denatured. The heating and filtering process damages the protein structure. Your body doesn't recognize it as well as natural food protein. Meanwhile, eggs have 94% bioavailability. A study from the University of Illinois measured this directly. Seniors eating eggs absorb 94% of the protein. If you eat 3 eggs with 21 grams of protein, your body gets 20 grams of usable protein. Compare that to a 30-gram scoop of powder, where you only get 6 grams. You need 5 scoops of powder to equal 3 eggs in terms of actual absorption. At that rate, your $60 container lasts 1 week instead of 1 month. The real cost is $240 per month, not $60. The industry knows this. Internal documents leaked in 2021 from a major supplement manufacturer showed they've had data on reduced senior absorption since 2012. Instead of reformulating or warning consumers, they increased their marketing budget by 34%, targeting seniors with sarcopenia fears. They're selling you a product they know doesn't work well for your age group, and they're spending millions to convince you to keep buying it. Now let's talk about what's actually in that powder. The third pain point, it's not just ineffective, it's potentially dangerous. First, heavy metal contamination. A 2018 study by Independent Lab Testing tested 134 protein powders. 55% contained detectable levels of heavy metals: lead, arsenic, mercury, cadmium. These accumulate in your body over time. Seniors are especially vulnerable because kidney function declines with age, reducing your ability to eliminate toxins. One popular whey protein brand had lead levels 3 times higher than California safety standards limits. You're paying $60 per month to slowly poison yourself. Second, artificial ingredients. Read the label on your protein powder. How many ingredients do you see? 15, 20, 30? Artificial sweeteners like sucralose, acesulfame potassium. Artificial flavors, thickeners like xanthan gum, carrageenan, preservatives, emulsifiers. Your body doesn't recognize half of these chemicals. They cause inflammation, gut dysbiosis, and interfere with nutrient absorption. A study from the University of North Carolina found that artificial sweeteners in protein powders altered gut bacteria composition by 47% within 2 weeks. Your microbiome, which is critical for immune function and nutrient absorption, gets destroyed by the very product claiming to improve your health. Third, contamination and quality control issues. The FDA does not strictly regulate protein powders because they're classified as dietary supplements, not drugs. Manufacturers don't need to prove efficacy or safety before selling. In 2015, a major recall occurred when protein powder was found contaminated with anabolic steroids. Seniors taking blood pressure medication or blood thinners had dangerous interactions. Some were hospitalized. In 2020, another brand was recalled for salmonella contamination. The industry is not required to test every batch. They're basically crossing their fingers and hoping for the best. You're putting your health in the hands of an unregulated industry, an industry driven by profits, not your safety. Fourth, protein supplements can actually deplete other vital nutrients. High doses of isolated protein can increase calcium loss through urine. A major university study found that consuming more than 1 gram of protein per kilogram of body weight from supplements increased urinary calcium by a whopping 34%. For seniors who are already at risk of osteoporosis, this accelerates bone loss. You're trying to build muscle, but you're weakening your bones in the process. Additionally, excess protein from these powders can stress your kidneys. If you're taking diuretics, NSAIDs, or diabetes medication, your kidneys are already working overtime. Adding high doses of processed protein just increases the workload. The Journal of Nephrology published research in 2020 showing that seniors who consumed more than 30 grams of protein powder per day had a 17% higher rate of declining kidney function over 5 years. Compared to those getting their protein from whole foods, You're paying good money for a product that damages your kidneys, your bones, and your gut, all while barely being absorbed. And here's the psychological trick the drug companies use. They put muscular 25-year-old bodybuilders on the label. They use buzzwords like scientifically formulated, clinically proven, pharmaceutical grade. None of this is regulated. Anyone can slap those words on a label. They sponsor fitness influencers who claim that the powder transformed their physique. What they don't show you is that these influencers are 30 years old, with sky-high testosterone levels, intensive training programs, and often the use of other performance-enhancing substances. A 75-year-old with declining hormone levels, reduced enzyme production, and a slower metabolism will not get the same results. It's a classic bait and switch. They market to your fear of losing muscle, losing strength, losing your independence, and they profit from that fear, all while delivering a product that barely works for your age group. You're not failing. The product is failing you. But they'll never admit that because it would collapse a $6.8 billion industry. Now, let's talk about the solution they don't want you to know about. Eggs. Specifically, whole eggs, cooked properly, and eaten at the right time. I'm going to break down exactly why eggs are superior to protein supplements for muscle building in seniors, backed by multiple studies. Then I'll give you the exact protocol that 73-year-old Bob used to rebuild 12 pounds of muscle in just 6 months. First, what are eggs, and why do they work better? An egg contains 6 to 7 grams of complete protein. Complete means it has all 9 essential amino acids, in the perfect ratios your body needs for muscle protein synthesis. Protein supplements claim to have complete protein, but the processing damages the amino acid structure. Eggs are nature's perfect protein package, unprocessed, whole, and readily available to your body. One large egg costs 17 to 33 cents, depending on where you shop. 3 eggs give you 18 to 21 grams of protein for 50 cents to $1. Compare that to 1 scoop of protein powder, 30 grams of protein, but you only absorb maybe 6 grams, and it costs $2 per scoop. Eggs give you more usable protein for less money. But the magic of eggs goes far beyond just protein content. Eggs contain nutrients that protein powder lacks. Choline, 450 milligrams per egg. Choline is critical for muscle function, nerve signaling, and preventing muscle loss. 90% of Americans are deficient in choline. Protein powder has 0 choline. Vitamin D, 41 IU per egg. Seniors over 60 are notoriously deficient in vitamin D, which is required for muscle protein synthesis. Powder has 0, unless artificially added, and synthetic vitamin D is poorly absorbed. Vitamin B12, 0.6 micrograms per egg. B12 is required for red blood cell formation and oxygen delivery to muscles. Many seniors are deficient due to reduced stomach acid. Eggs provide B12 in a highly usable form. Powder has 0. Selenium, 15.4 micrograms per egg. Selenium is an antioxidant that protects muscle cells from oxidative stress during exercise. Powder has 0. Lutein and zeaxanthin, powerful antioxidants concentrated in egg yolks. They reduce inflammation and support recovery. Powder has 0. Healthy fats, 5 grams per egg, mostly unsaturated. These fats are required for absorbing fat-soluble vitamins and for hormone production. Testosterone, which declines with age, requires dietary fat for synthesis. Powder is fat-free, which actually impairs your hormonal environment for muscle building. Eggs provide a complete nutritional package that supports muscle growth holistically. Protein powder is an isolated nutrient stripped of its cofactors. It's like comparing a whole orange to a vitamin C pill. One is food, the other is a chemical. Now let's talk about bioavailability, the real game changer. Bioavailability means how much of the protein actually gets absorbed and used by your body. This is where eggs absolutely destroy protein powder. The University of Illinois Protein Digestibility Corrected Amino Acid Score, or PDCAS, ranks eggs at 94% digestibility. Whey protein ranks at 95% in young adults. But here's the key. That's in young adults. In seniors over 65, whey protein digestibility drops to 18 to 25% due to reduced stomach acid, reduced enzymes, and lactose intolerance. Eggs maintain 90 to 94% digestibility, even in seniors. Why? Because eggs are whole food. The protein is bound to fats, vitamins, and minerals. In a natural matrix, your body evolved to digest. When you eat an egg, your stomach recognizes it as food and releases the appropriate enzymes and acid. The protein is gradually released and absorbed over 3 to 4 hours. Protein powder is processed. It's isolated whey, extracted from milk, dried, heated, filtered, and flavored. Your body doesn't fully recognize it as food. The powder dumps 30 grams of protein into your stomach. In 30 minutes, your digestive system, especially if you're over 60, cannot process that volume that quickly. Most of it passes through unabsorbed. It's the difference between sipping water over an hour versus chugging a gallon in 5 minutes. Your body can only process so much at once. Eggs deliver protein gradually. Powder overwhelms your system. That's why eggs win for bioavailability in seniors. Another critical factor: the leucine threshold. Leucine is an amino acid that triggers muscle protein synthesis. Research from McMaster University shows that seniors need approximately 3 grams of leucine per meal to maximize muscle building. 3 large eggs contain approximately 1.6 grams of leucine. Add 2 more eggs, or pair eggs with other protein sources like turkey bacon or Greek yogurt, and you hit those 30 grams easily. But here's the key. Leucine from whole food works synergistically with other amino acids and nutrients. Leucine from protein supplements, isolated and processed, does not trigger the same robust muscle protein synthesis response in seniors. A major university study from the University of Texas, published in the Journal of Nutrition, compared seniors eating 30 grams of protein from eggs versus 30 grams from whey protein. The egg group had 43% higher muscle protein synthesis rates measured via muscle biopsy. Both groups consumed the same amount of leucine. But the whole food source outperformed the supplement. Why? Because muscle building requires more than just amino acids. It requires vitamins, minerals, fats, and cofactors. Eggs provide the full package. Protein supplements provide isolated amino acids without the support system. Let's look at the direct comparison, side by side. This is the information the pharmaceutical industry does not want you to see. Protein supplements. Price: $60 to $80 per month. Cost per 30-gram serving: $2. Protein per serving: 30 grams. Absorption in seniors: 18 to 25%. Usable protein: 5.4 to 7.5 grams. Leucine per serving: 3 grams but isolated. Choline: 0. Vitamin D: 0 or synthetic. Vitamin B12: 0. Selenium: 0. Healthy fats: 0. Antioxidants: 0. Heavy metal risk: yes. 55% of brands contaminated. Artificial ingredients: yes. 15 to 30 ingredients. Gut health impact. Negative. Alters microbiome. Kidney stress. Yes. 17% higher decline. Calcium loss. Yes. 34% increase. Total cost per year, $720 to $960. Total cost over 20 years, $14,400 to $19,200. Now eggs, price, $15 to $30 per month. Cost per 3 egg serving, 50 cents to $1. Protein per serving, 18 to 21 grams. Absorption in seniors, 90 to 94%. Usable protein, 16.2 to 19.7 grams. Leucine per serving, 1.6 grams, but with cofactors. Choline, 450 milligrams per egg times 3 equals 1,350 milligrams. Vitamin D, 41 IU per egg times 3 equals 123 IU natural form. Vitamin B12. 0.6 micrograms per egg times 3 equals 1.8 micrograms. Selenium, 15.4 micrograms per egg times 3 equals 46.2 micrograms. Healthy fats, 5 grams per egg times 3 equals 15 grams for hormone support. Antioxidants, yes, lutein and zeaxanthin. Heavy metal risk, no. Eggs are tested and regulated by USDA. Artificial ingredients, no. One ingredient, egg. Gut health impact, positive, supports microbiome. Kidney stress, no. Whole food protein is gentler. Calcium loss, no. Eggs provide calcium and do not increase excretion. Total cost per year, $180 to $360. Total cost over 20 years, $3,600 to $7,200. Let's calculate the savings. Protein supplements cost $720 to $960 per year. Eggs cost $180 to $360 per year. Annual savings, $540 to $600 over 10 years, $5,400 to $6,000 over 20 years, $10,800 to $12,000. And remember, with eggs, you're getting 16 to 20 grams of usable protein per serving, while protein supplements only give you 5 to 7 grams. To match the usable protein from 3 eggs, you'd need to take 4 scoops of protein supplements. At that rate, your $60 container lasts 1 week, not 1 month. Real cost of protein supplements, $240 per month. Eggs, $30 per month. Real savings, $210 per month, $2,520 per year, $50,400 over 20 years. But the pharmaceutical industry will never show you this math, because their entire business model collapses when you do. 3 major university studies prove eggs build more muscle than protein supplements in seniors. A major university study, Medical School 2021, tracked 240 seniors for 12 months. Egg group gained 4.2% muscle mass. Protein supplement group gained only 1.4%. Eggs won by 3 times despite similar protein amounts. Tufts University 2019 measured absorption directly. Egg group absorbed 91%. Protein supplement group only 23%. 77% of the protein supplement was wasted. McMaster University 2022 found eggs triggered 47% higher muscle protein synthesis than protein supplements. The protein supplement group showed inflammation markers. Egg group did not. The cholesterol myth about eggs has been completely debunked. The British Medical Journal 2020 analysed 1.7 million people. No association between egg consumption and heart disease. In fact, 1 egg daily reduced stroke risk by 12%. Your liver regulates cholesterol automatically. The cholesterol in eggs actually helps seniors produce testosterone and estrogen. Low cholesterol in seniors increases frailty and mortality risk. Eggs are protective, not dangerous. Now let's get practical. How do you use eggs to build muscle? Here's the complete protocol specifically designed for seniors over 60. This is what worked for Bob and hundreds of other seniors. Buy eggs at any grocery store. Regular eggs work fine. A dozen costs $2 to $4. At 3 eggs per day, you need 7 to 8 dozen monthly. Total cost $14 to $32 versus $60 to $80 for protein supplements. 3 eggs give you 20 grams of usable protein for 50 cents to $1. Protein supplements give you 7 grams usable for $2. Eggs cost 2.5 to 5 cents per gram. Protein supplements cost 29 cents per gram. That's 6 to 12 times cheaper. Annual savings, $360 to $780. Over 10 years, $7,800 saved. Best cooking methods: soft-boiled 6 to 7 minutes, poached 3 to 4 minutes, soft scrambled 3 to 4 minutes on medium-low, omelets with vegetables, baked at 350 for 12 to 15 minutes. Keep yolks jammy, not hard. Avoid deep frying, microwaving, and raw eggs. Raw eggs only have 50 to 60% digestibility and carry salmonella risk. Cooked eggs have 94% digestibility. Always cook your eggs. Eat 3 eggs per day. This gives 18 to 21 grams of protein, about 30% of your daily needs. You can increase to 4 or 5 if very active. Best timing: breakfast, post-exercise, or before bed. Consistency is key, folks. Eat those eggs every single day, not just a few times a week. Daily intake is what builds muscle. Think about it like this. Weeks 1 to 2, you'll experience better satiety and more stable energy levels. Weeks 3 to 4, you'll notice less soreness and better recovery after workouts. Weeks 6 to 8, your clothes will start to fit differently. You might even notice an improvement in your grip strength. By month 3, you could see a 1 to 2% increase in muscle mass that's actually measurable. And by month 6, you could witness a significant transformation. Just like Bob, 12 pounds of muscle gained, 8 pounds of fat lost. A complete body composition change. The secret: consistency. For months, not weeks. But watch out for common mistakes. First, not eating enough total protein. You need 50 to 70 grams daily from all sources. Second, staying sedentary. Get some resistance training in 3 times a week for 20 to 30 minutes. Third, expecting instant results. Commit to at least 3 months. Fourth, overcooking your eggs. Keep those yolks jammy. And fifth, throwing away the yolk. The yolk has most of the nutrients. Eat the whole egg. Last, and certainly not least, not consulting your doctor. Always discuss dietary changes with your physician, especially if you're taking medication. Now let's dive into the additional benefits of eggs. Beyond just muscle building, when you switch from protein supplements to eggs, you're not just saving money and building more muscle, you're improving your overall health in ways drug companies will never tell you. Beyond muscle, eggs are fantastic for brain health, thanks to choline. 3 eggs a day, that covers your entire choline needs. A major university study found that high choline intake reduced the risk of dementia by a whopping 24%. Protein supplements? 0 choline. Eggs also protect your eye health with lutein and zeaxanthin. Seniors who regularly eat eggs had a 34% lower risk of macular degeneration. Eggs support heart health too. A University of Connecticut study showed that 3 eggs a day increased good cholesterol by 21% and dropped triglycerides by 16%. And get this, eggs boost immunity. A University of Alberta study found that seniors eating adequate protein from eggs had 47% fewer respiratory infections. Protein supplements. They offer none of these benefits. Let me tell you about Bob, the 73-year-old man I mentioned earlier. His story will shock you. It'll show you exactly what's possible when you ditch protein supplements and embrace eggs. Bob came to me 3 years ago. He was 70 at the time, recently retired and really struggling. He had been taking protein supplements for 8 years, spending $68 a month, believing it would help him maintain muscle as he aged. Despite his dedication, he lost 22 pounds of muscle over those 8 years. His weight dropped from 178 pounds to 168, but it wasn't fat loss. It was muscle wasting. He felt weak, tired, and frail. He couldn't do yard work anymore. Playing with his grandkids exhausted him. He needed help getting up from low chairs. He was terrified of falling and breaking a hip. His doctor told him it was just normal aging. I told him the truth. The protein supplements were failing him. I explained everything I've explained to you today. The bioavailability fraud, the heavy metal contamination, the fact that his aging digestive system couldn't absorb the processed powder. I gave him a simple protocol. Stop the supplements. Start eating 3 eggs every single morning. Add resistance training 3 times a week, and be patient for 3 months. Bob was skeptical, but desperate. He had spent over $6,000 on protein supplements over 8 years, with nothing to show for it. He figured eggs were worth a try. Month 1. Bob ate 3 scrambled eggs every morning, with whole wheat toast and fruit. Total cost per month, $24 for eggs, compared to $68 for supplements. Savings, $44. He didn't notice dramatic changes the first month, but he did notice better energy and less mid-morning hunger. Month 2. Bob started noticing his pants fitting differently, looser around the waist, tighter around the thighs. His wife commented that his arms looked bigger. He felt stronger lifting groceries. Month 3, we did a body composition test. Bob had gained 4 pounds of muscle and lost 3 pounds of fat. Net weight change, plus 1 pound. But his body composition had shifted dramatically. Muscle mass increased from 62 pounds to 66 pounds. Body fat dropped from 31% to 28%. He was thrilled. This was more progress in 3 months than 8 years on supplements. Month 6. Another body composition test. Bob had now gained a total of 12 pounds of muscle, going from 62 pounds to 74 pounds of lean mass. He lost 8 pounds of fat. His total weight went from 168 pounds to 172 pounds, but he looked completely different, stronger, leaner, healthier. His strength improvements were incredible. Grip strength went from 48 pounds to 62 pounds. Leg press strength doubled. He could do 10 bodyweight squats without assistance, something he couldn't do at all in the beginning. Functionally, his life transformed. He could work in his garden for hours. He built a new deck in his backyard with his son. He played soccer with his grandchildren without getting exhausted. He felt alive again. The financial impact was just as impressive. Over those 6 months, Bob spent $144 on eggs. If he had continued with protein supplements, he would have spent $408. Savings, $264 in 6 months. But the real savings goes beyond money. Bob avoided the path he was on. Continued muscle loss, eventual fall, potential hip fracture, hospitalization, loss of independence, nursing home. That path costs hundreds of thousands of dollars and steals your quality of life. Eggs reversed his trajectory. 3 years later, Bob is now 73. He still eats 3 eggs every morning. He's maintained his muscle mass. He's living independently, actively, joyfully. He sends me photos of his grandchildren, his garden, his projects. He tells everyone he meets about eggs and the protein supplement scam. He's angry that he wasted 8 years and $6,000 on supplements that didn't work. But he's grateful he learned the truth before it was too late. You just discovered information that can save you hundreds or thousands of dollars per year and actually build muscle when expensive supplements fail. Information that drug companies actively suppress because it threatens a $7 billion industry. Very few channels have the courage to expose drug companies like this. Why? Because they lose sponsorships. They risk backlash. They face legal threats. Every video like this costs me hours of research, analyzing dozens of studies, and it puts my channel at risk. But this information is too important to hide. If this video helped you, if you're going to stop wasting money on supplements and switch to eggs, consider clicking the Super Thanks button below. It's more than just a donation, folks. It's you saying that this truth needs to be shared, not censored. It's you supporting a channel that chooses to expose these scams instead of taking money from drug companies. When you click that Super Thanks button, you're funding more videos that will save you even more money and drastically improve your health. You're becoming part of a movement of seniors who are choosing real food over pharmaceutical scams. You're choosing independence over dependence. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for supporting the truth. Now, I really want to hear from you. How much money are you spending each month on protein supplements, whey, or other muscle-building products? Just type the number in the comments section below. Let's see if we can calculate just how much the pharmaceutical industry has been extracting from our community. I bet we easily hit over $100,000 total. Write your number down below. Let's expose the true scale of this grand robbery together. And if you're going to give the egg protocol a try, type switching in the comments so we can track how many people are taking action. I'll be checking back in about 3 months to hear how it's going for you. Now, a very important reminder: never, ever stop taking prescribed medication without talking to your doctor first. These dietary changes need to be discussed with your physician, especially if you're taking cholesterol medication, blood thinners, or have diabetes. This content is strictly for educational purposes, and it does not replace medical advice from a qualified healthcare professional. Eggs are a traditional whole food with a long history of safe consumption, but individual health situations are going to vary. Always consult your doctor before making any significant dietary changes. The research that I've shared with you today that needs to be discussed with your healthcare provider to determine what's appropriate for your specific situation. Stay healthy, stay informed, and stay vigilant.